Will Kid Loki and the Crocodile Loki help stop Kang the Conqueror? Two of the most interesting characters of the first season of Loki were Kid Loki and Loki Crocodile. Characters that helped Loki and Sylvie during their adventure to meet He Who Remains, however. During the previews, they have been the biggest absentees, but who were they really? Will we actually see them join the Avengers? In this video, we will be talking about Kid Loki and Loki Crocodile, upon their possible return to this season, and if you would like to know more about this universe, don't forget to subscribe to this channel.
Bienvenidos a Oasis Geek.
First, let's talk about Loki Crocodile. The first thing to remember is that Loki Crocodile is a variant that comes from an alternate timeline in the Marvel multiverse. Like the Loki we know, he deviated from the predestined path for his reality, which prompted the TVA to intervene and erase him from his own history. Despite his peculiar appearance, many fans speculate that Loki Crocodile was originally a humanoid variant of Loki. Perhaps he used his shape-shifting powers to become a crocodile as a prank, but was then trapped by the TVA and forced to remain in that form. Perhaps he was implanted with the distinctive mind control collar to suppress his powers. If this is true, we would be faced with a tragic version of Loki, trapped against his will in a body and a reality that does not correspond to him. He would be a tormented soul, longing to recover his true identity and escape this cruel fate. It is possible that Loki Crocodile, after the death of He Who Remains, has managed to escape from the control that had him subdued. Perhaps what kept Loki Crocodile trapped in the form of a crocodile has been broken, after the disappearance of He Who Remains. We could see Loki Crocodile desperately trying to reverse the spell or technology that keeps him trapped in reptilian form. Or he may even be shown with a humanoid appearance already, if indeed it was He Who Remains who forced him to remain as a crocodile. But what is the story of Kid Loki, and how will he return? The origin of this character is found in the Marvel comics, where there are several versions of his story. In one of them, Kid Loki is presented as the reincarnation of a Loki who lost his life, and later reincarnated. However, in the series, this Loki is portrayed as a murderer. In his reality within the sacred timeline, this Loki committed an unforgivable act, killing his adopted brother Thor when they were both still children. Loki had always felt envy and resentment towards Thor, Odin's favorite. One day, this inner darkness overflowed, and in a fit of rage, Kid Loki murdered his brother. This forbidden event, which drastically altered the course that reality should follow, immediately alerted the fearsome Time Variance Authority. Its agents traveled to that timeline to arrest Loki. Imagine that in this reality, Thor never came to the aid of the Avengers. Without the strength of the God of Thunder to oppose him, it is likely that the Loki that Thanos sent to Earth during the Chitauri invasion would have achieved a much quicker and more convincing victory. This alternate Loki would have found himself up against a much weaker Avengers, not having Thor's power in their ranks. Perhaps even Thanos would have personally come after the Infinity Gems, instead of sending Loki to take advantage of the absence of Odin's son. Without a counterweight like Thor, there would have been no one capable of taking on Thanos as an equal. It is quite possible that the Mad Titan would have gotten hold of the Infinity Gems exposed on Earth much earlier, without inconvenience. Once with the power of the gauntlet in his hands, Thanos would have been able to destroy that alternate universe with a simple snap, just as happened at the end of Infinity War in the sacred timeline. Thus, in a reality without Thor to defend it, Earth, and possibly the entire universe, would have met a fatal fate at the hands of Thanos. Thor's absence would have had disastrous temporal consequences brought about by the actions of Kid Loki. This demonstrates how crucial Thor's role was in the sacred timeline to thwart threats such as the Chitauri and Thanos. Thor was a pivotal piece whose elimination from infancy brought about a catastrophic future where the villain achieved his goals unopposed. Which is why, after Kid Loki killed Thor, this alerted the TVA and he was arrested. Without any consideration for his young age or his motives, Loki was judged guilty of a temporal crime. The TVA agents proceeded to eliminate all evidence of his existence, including that timeline where Thor never becomes an Avenger, also erasing the young Asgardian from that reality, and all minds that remembered him. Kid Loki was pruned from his own timeline, a process by which the guilty variant is destroyed. His physical body disintegrated in an instant. But this was not the end. Instead of dying, Kid Loki was thrown into the void, a dimension outside of time inhabited by the pruned variants of all universes. A bleak and chaotic place whipped by dangerous temporal storms. In the void, Kid Loki survived for years, thanks to his cunning and power. He gained the respect of the other exiled Lokis, becoming a sort of unofficial king of the void. He even made friends with several variants such as Loki Crocodile and Classic Loki. When he met the Loki we saw in the series, Kid Loki helped him escape from a treacherous ambush by another Loki. Although he was initially wary of this newly arrived Loki, he ended up supporting his mission to defeat Aleoth and escape the void. After the rupture of the sacred timeline, Kid Loki is likely to have escaped from the void, along with his fellow Loki Crocodile and Classic Loki. Now free from the control of the TVA, Kid Loki may seek to redeem himself from his violent past. Perhaps he will try to find and help the version of Thor we knew, in an attempt to repair the damage he caused to the Thor of his reality. But the reason these characters return to join with the other Loki or the Avengers would be to confront Kang the Conqueror. With the death of He Who Remains, the multidimensional struggle is at its most dangerous, and all the heroes and even villains of the multiverse must unite to stop this threat. From fearsome foes, they would become heroes willing to sacrifice themselves to save infinite realities from Kang's tyranny. With their vast magical powers and deception skills, both characters would bring valuable resources to the Avengers in battle. Their knowledge of magic and illusory tricks could even give them advantages over the ruthless Kang the Conqueror. Also, both characters spent a lot of time in the void and must know a lot more than we think about the Kang's battle for control of the multiverse. Which is why we hope that if Kang the Conqueror is revealed in this season, we can also be shown how Loki recruits a group to confront them. And among them is Kid Loki and the Loki Crocodile. But tell me, what are your thoughts about all this? Do you want to see Loki Crocodile and Kid Loki again? And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel.
Estás en Oasis Geek.